So for the last 24 hours, I've been seeing a lot of discussion on this image right here of Kafka. Now, to kind of explain, basically, this is a character from Kaiju number 8, a manga series that has quickly risen in popularity ever since, it came out. And over the years since it, first began, a lot of people have told me to, read the manga, because it's absolutely incredible. And sadly, to this date, I really haven't read Kaiju number 8 to the fullest. For instance, I'm not caught up, etc. And so because of that, I have very limited information overall on the manga and how it goes, etc. But I know if I dedicated some time to it, I would definitely probably be amazed and I would probably love it. Because looking at the synopsis, looking at, just the way, the series is kind of conveyed to me when it's constantly recommended, it seems like something I would just instantly fall in love with. And I have been aware that for a while now that there would be a Kaiju number 8 anime. It was announced, and we finally get some first real look at, character designs for the upcoming anime. And this character right here is the main protagonist of Kaiju number 8, Kafka. And when you first look at this, if you know nothing, it looks completely fine. It's like, okay, it's an anime design, that's about it. You see his outfit, etc., that's about it. However, I want to pull something up and showcase. A lot of people have been complaining, and I didn't understand until I saw this side-by-side profile comparison. So, basically, this right here is his manga appearance, and this is his anime appearance. Now, if we're looking at this just straightforward, without any other information, it's very clear that obviously, in terms of the jawline and the way the character is expressed with the eyes, etc., he doesn't look the same. Let's just be completely honest. He does not look the same. However, there's a lot of things to really talk about when it comes to this, and you're probably wondering, why am I even talking about this? Well, if we go to, the original tweet here, and once again, it's fine if you don't like the design. I think it's completely fine, but it is an interesting topic to discuss. Clearly, when you go down, people are discussing his manga design, they don't like it, they're memeing on it, and, it makes sense. I mean, people are doing obvious comparisons, like right here, as you can see, they're a little bit upset with it, and I think this is valid. I mean, if you're a big fan of a series, being upset about a design, if it doesn't really portray how the character's supposed to look, it makes sense. I mean, let's think about Sonic. I mean, I think everybody remembers Ugly Sonic, just how awful Sonic looked when it first got announced, and we got to see our first real look at how Sonic looked in live action. Everybody hated it. It was an absolute dumpster fire of an actual design. People hated it, and eventually the design was changed to the current live action Sonic we know today. And so obviously, it makes sense why people would be upset if you don't keep the integrity of the original character design. I think it makes a lot of sense why fans would be upset. So we need to get into the actual discussion. Is this a bad design? That is what we need to talk about. So, when I take a hard look at this design, as someone that obviously has not read the manga, there's a few things that come to mind when I see this. For one, I think that, they don't look the same. But at the same time, we gotta think about maybe the reasons for this. Why maybe the character design looks off, etc. We gotta think that when it comes to the key visual, it's a far-away shot. Okay? It's obviously trying to get the full body established of his attire, his weapon, etc. It's a full character image shot. While when you look at this manga panel, I'm assuming someone screenshotted, basically it's just a close-up of his face. And clearly there's different ways to draw characters depending on the perspective. If you're having a faraway shot, a close-up personal shot, sometimes the character overall designs will vary. And on top of that, the way the character is angled with his face kind of looking downward like that, instead of looking kind of straight forward, obviously the design of the jawline and everything could look very different too. So it could be a case of just a very bad perspective of the way he was drawn, his stance and everything, and that's the reason why he looks very different. But there's other reasons to talk about this as well. For one, someone pointed out, because this came out after that design announcement, that this is another character called Mina, and we get to see her overall design in the anime. And clearly from this design, she does look a little bit better. People have pointed out a little bit of their design, and some are upset with it, but there is some similarities to the character, at least in comparison to this one. So once again, this makes me assume that it might have just been a very bad perspective drawing of the character. Now, let's go on a limb here and say that this isn't. I'd say this is exactly what the character is going to look like, and this wasn't, an accident, so to speak. It could be because they want to make the design a little bit simplistic. And what do I mean by that? Well, we gotta think about simplicity in animation and art. When a character is in movement within an anime, obviously having a very highly detailed character, with a lot of these different intricate designs on his face or clothing, etc., it's going to be very difficult to have that in movement. It puts a lot of time and effort and strain on the animators to be able to create something like that, to actually have movement with something that is just so overly designed. A good example of this is Cell from Dragon Ball. If you have seen Dragon Ball, like Dragon Ball Z, and you've seen Cell, I think you might be a little bit aware that the reason why Cell doesn't really appear as much is because his spots are so hard to animate and draw, because he has so many individual spots on his entire character design. It's very difficult to incorporate him into a modern setting, to draw him, etc. There's just so much effort that has to go into it, and it's clear that Toei doesn't want to do that. They don't want to draw Cell because it's extremely difficult. And so when a character design is very hard to draw or make into anime, they might want to make it a little bit more simplistic. And so in this case, that's probably what happened. They made the design a little bit more simplistic, a little bit more roundish, to be able to have it flow better in movement. And I think another good character that really kind of amplifies this statement for simplicity is Saitama. If anyone obviously has read One Punch Man, it's very popular obviously, or if you have watched the anime, Saitama's character design being bald, round-headed, like oval, it's very simple. He has a very simple design. I don't think anyone could deny how simple Saitama's design is. But if you have watched the anime, or if you have read the manga, I think everybody also has noticed, even though he has a simple design, when it is put into perspective, like he's overly drawn, he really turns from a simple design to something that is very well able to express character emotions, to his eyebrows, to the way his jawline is, etc. And I think that that is a big detail of simplicity, because simplicity sometimes can make it to where you're used to this look, but when something gets serious, the character's drawn in hyper detail. So it could be something like that, like how Saitama's done in the manga/anime. But getting back onto the main topic though, is the design bad? I think it comes down, obviously, to personal choice. I know my opinion on the matter is probably biased, because obviously I have not read the original source to really see. I might be a little bit more upset and skewed, and be more on the manga side of things, if I actually have. But I do think, though, that there is probably reasons for this design. Simplicity. And I don't think that is necessarily bad. And we gotta see exactly when more character designs come out, etc. for Kaiju number 8, if, the designs really just are off completely for all the characters. But yeah, I just want to talk about this because I saw a lot of controversy around it. People were obviously really disliking it and hating it, and I was just like, why is that? And obviously I dived a little bit deeper, and just wanted to talk about it myself. But I guess I'll leave it there for now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. If you liked the video, please leave a like. It also helps with the algorithm and everything. But be safe, stay healthy, Chibi out.